All right. Okay, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin with your host, Tone Vays. I'm going to wait a minute to make sure that I'm live this time so I don't waste another 20, 30 minutes
Welcome to another episode.
like I did this morning. And I'm not going to be able to repeat everything I did this morning because it was like I barely remember. That's why I waited. Like I didn't want to repeat it all right away. So we're going straight to the charts. I don't really have any announcements other than I can't stand the lockdowns. And I think they already killed more than half the people, more than double the people that COVID killed, and they're going to kill a lot more. That's my view on lockdowns, basically. My only announcement is I dropped all my prices. I lowered for the Black Friday weekend. I dropped everything by 20 to 33% on all my webinars, Tyler Jenks's webinars. This used to be 1,000, 750 now. This used to be 750, now it's 500. I also lowered the price of the MRI by like 50% because this was like 850 or 900 or even about 900 a few days ago, and now it's only 500. So I dropped out about 45%. So if anyone's interested, this week is the time because I will put the prices back next week. Yeah, the TradingView special as well. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but in the affiliate section, if you click on this, it doesn't matter which one you click. I mean, TradingView is allowed in the US and outside the US. So like clicking the US, that doesn't matter. You get a 60% off sale. If you're going to use and buy a TradingView subscription, please use my affiliate page. It does help out. It doesn't cost you anything. But TradingView does. It's one of the very few on this list that actually kicks something back to me for you paying them a subscription. So it's one of the few. Half of these don't really pay me anything. But yeah, that one does. Okay, let's go to the charts. Yeah, MRI is on TradingView. That's the only place to look at MRI is on TradingView. You don't need a paid account of TradingView to use the MRI. It'll work with a free account. It just won't be very convenient. Thanks, Peruvian. I'll take a look at those stocks on camera, but I kind of already replied to you in Telegram. All right, let's here's the monthly chart. The monthly chart is on a monthly warning of the MRI. Is unconfiscatable going down? I hope so. But Nevada is locking down right now. So I don't know. I have no idea. We have the dates for unconfiscatable. We have good relationship with the venues, an incredible carnivory dinner venue, an incredible Scammy Award venue, but this is an international conference. And if people can't fly into America, this becomes, I mean, the last one lost money. The last unconfiscatable lost, a few tens of thousands of dollars. So, how much money am I willing to lose putting on a conference is the real question, right? I can't have scammy sponsors, so we're limited on how much money we can get from companies. I don't like being sponsored because then you feel like you owe them something. So it's a challenge. We're still planning on it in April, but there's no way tickets are going on sale before January. We have to be absolutely sure we can get over 100 people and be allowed to have over 100 people. Otherwise, we can't. It would be then I'd lose, 50,000 and above. So I can't have that. All right, let's talk stocks. Monthly is coming to an end. The monthly MRI top, that doesn't happen very often. We saw that 3 times in 2017, well, 2016 and 2017, 3 times in a row. And we had 2 of them in the 2013 bull market. There was another one here, but these 2 candles broke it up. If you look at the monthly chart of only Mt. Gox, if I pull that up, if I open up Mt. Gox, which was the leading exchange at the time, maybe I'll just put Gox. Yeah, Mt. Gox monthly. If I pull that up, you will see. I think I need to renew mine, actually. Shit. Maybe that's why it's coming up. Right, so if you look at only Mt. Gox, oh boy, I need the MRI on here. Old indicators. It's been a while since I opened this up. Let's get the MRI on here. By the way, those of you that have access to it and can't find it, it will always be in your invite-only scripts. The MRI is in your invite-only scripts, and then go to momentum reversal indicator, those that have access. So you can see how in 2013, there were 2 consecutive MRI tops. The reason you don't see it on the index is because the index is using like 6 or 7 exchanges, and these 2 candles break the relationship by like a few dollars on the month-end close, which is very unfortunate because it breaks that MRI sequence. But if you were there at the time watching, you can see how there was an absolute perfect second consecutive MRI top along with the end of extension C from the first MRI top. Here. Or I may have to take that back. This extension C could be coming from back here, actually. And it probably is. Let me double check. Oh, that's right. This extension C is coming from back here. And this second extension C is coming from here. So that's what ended it. Because there was only one before, so I don't know why I'm counting. But yeah, so lots of reasons to respect the MRI. Obviously, this one reversed it. This one did not. You can go back in, but then you have to respect the second. So we can close Mt. Gox and go back to this monthly chart of the index. And so we're going to respect this MRI top coming up in December. The weekly MRI top is happening right now this week. Now, we have 7 days to see how relevant this MRI top is. Now, keep in mind, the last candle that we had, last week's candle, ended very, very bullish. So that means there is a high chance that the high will be made this week. In fact, I am now leaning slightly to making a new high this week. That doesn't mean that I'm walking away from my view that we're going to pull back to approximately 14. I just think that because of this consolidation, when I go to the daily scale, because of this continued consolidation, the next time the daily chart goes above this line, I become bullish on a daily scale. Like basically, we just have to break today's high. And ideally, that happens tomorrow or the next day. Now, if this happens a month from now, I would be very bullish. But if it's happening this week, I will only be short-term bullish, and I would look to sell more GBTC. Those of you that remember, I was long GBTC. I sold a part of my position on this big candle. I then went back into GBTC here, and I did not sell everything, by the way. I sold a small fraction. I went back into GBTC here. I sold GBTC on Wednesday the 18th, and I sold more GBTC on Friday of last week, which is this big bullish candle here. I'm willing to sell more GBTC, but only above 19,000. I have no interest in selling GBTC below 19,000. So if we go above 19,000, that's when I'm interested in selling it. And here's the good news for me holding GBTC. GBTC spiked today to the upside while Bitcoin was down. It was actually down quite a bit from Friday. So why is GBTC up so much? Well, the reason why GBTC is up so much is because of the premium. If I move this chart over, look at the GBTC premium. On Friday, when we left the market, GBTC premium was around 20%. Today, it's 24%. So GBTC premium went up 5%. It's actually almost 5%. GBTC premium is up 5%, but it's not up 5%. It's actually up 5 on 20. So GBTC premium is up 25%, but it's up 5 percentage points. So that means the value of GBTC literally goes up 5% today, even though GBTC does not rise in value. So I would love to see this GBTC premium go even further later this week. So when I take my exit above 19,000, the GBTC premium is sitting in the 30-35% range. Now, it just has to come to here. Like that's the 30% range. And I think that's doable, which means that if Bitcoin goes to 19,000, GBTC can go all the way to 24, 25 bucks. It can go up significantly higher, even with a small rise in the price of Bitcoin. You should have no problem using MRI on BLX 1 month chart. Now, I don't know why it's not working for you, but it's working for me. So if it's working for me, it should be working for everyone else. Try restarting TradingView, but here's BLX, Brave New Coin Liquid Index, 1 month chart. MRI is working just fine. So I don't know. Oh, I know why you're getting that error. I know why. Sorry, I need to change. I know why. The reason why you're getting that error is because you probably have, because it's by default, hourly chart checked right here. And because BLX is end of day data only, if inside your indicator, you are trying to look at a lower level time frame, which is not provided by the asset, it will not work. So I do know why. I forgot. We will remove the 1 hour in the next time there is an MRI update. I don't know when that will be because I haven't done any work on the MRI since I released it. But if there is an update one day, sometime next year maybe, or God knows when, we will not have this as a default so that this won't be a problem. So just uncheck this and it'll work. Forgot about that. Okay, let's go back to the daily chart. So this consolidation has me neutral right now, but I'll be bullish for a push to maybe new all-time high, maybe 20,000, if we can get above today's high. Because I would love to sell more GBTC at a higher price. I still think the pullback's coming. I still believe in this arrow, but this consolidation makes me think there'll be one more push. And in fact, it would be perfect because we can get a double MRI daily top on Saturday inside the weekly MRI top, which is next week. But at this point, I would love to see this as a reversal candle. I would love for this to go up to close to 20,000 and then come back down by Sunday night. And while it's doing that, create a second consecutive MRI on the daily. The hardest candle will probably be tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the most challenging candle because tomorrow's candle will need to close above Friday's high. And Friday's high was let's say $18,900. We had a slightly higher close on Saturday, but it won't make much of a difference. Only like, I don't know, $50 higher. Let's look at the 1 hour chart. So the Bitcoin has really been respecting the 1 hour MRI. Yes, this one came a little bit late, but it was certainly still a good trade to the upside, perfectly calling the local top. 1 to 4 candle correction, then more upside right into an MRI top. This thing reversed on the warning arrow, which would have been an orange arrow on this candle when it showed up. This situation here with a big reversal candle would have gotten me concerned about the bearish case. We kept going, and now it looks like we're ready to go up again. So to me, all we got to do is get above this area, and I become bullish on the hourly scale as well. So look at the 4 hour. Four hour isn't really interesting. I guess it's a bit of a, no, I don't really see many triangles. I'm going to delete this triangle. It's not that important anymore. Look, we had a daily high here, daily MRI top. We have a weekly MRI top right now. Stars are flipping all over the place. I would wait for the breakout of 18,700, and then I kind of become bullish short term. But I still think the top's coming this week. The top didn't come last week, so I think it's coming this week. All right, we have another super chat. Thank you, Nezmul. Sorry about that. Thoughts on MSTR as an alternative to GBTC? Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea. I was trading option spreads on Tesla Friday and into today, and then today. Delete that. But I'm done with that trade. I don't think I'll be trading the rest of the week. It was supposed to be a day trade strategy for option spreads I was testing with, and with a kind of a high amount of money or high percentage of an account. But that's how I like to test things. I was hedged, so I wasn't at risk of destroying my retirement account. Wasn't as eventful as I thought it might be. Okay, so sorry, that's GBTC. I meant to pull up MSTR. I mean, you can trade MSTR as a proxy for Bitcoin, considering how much Bitcoin they own. I mean, I guess. Oh, they're on a weekly MRI top. I mean, they're just like Bitcoin. I mean, they're moving exactly like Bitcoin. So sure. Yeah, you're right. I can't trade options on GBTC, but I can trade options on MicroStrategy. Maybe I should buy some puts. I'll think about that. It's too late to do it tonight, but I'll think about it. Yeah, I can certainly see the stock pulling back significantly, considering it's up 100% since COVID. I mean, it is going to follow the Bitcoin chart. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'll try to consider that. I don't like this, how this tops. Yeah, it's following Bitcoin exactly. But it's optionable. So, yeah, I'll consider that. Thanks for the heads up on that. No, that's not true. High Tone, is it true that using your referral link to TradingView would have access to like the MRI for free? No, no, it's not true. No, they're independent. I don't know about a 35% correction. I would like a 35% correction. I think Bitcoin is going to correct to approximately this moving average, which is about 14,000, 1450. I don't think that's a 35% correction. 25%. Now, if we go higher to 20,000, maybe that makes it 30%. Now it's still 27. I don't think it's going to go down that much. Bitcoin dominance also hits an MRI top and respects it, and it's going down. Gold is interesting. So I've been talking about gold being bearish. And here we are. We've broken a very critical support line. And I've been bearish on gold for a while. I did turn bullish over here, but then this giant candle removed any thoughts of that. I was bullish at the end of this candle as well because of this triangle, but that bullishness didn't last long, lasted a day. And this bullishness lasted about 2 days. And I've been bearish other than that. And I remain bearish here, still looking for 1750. S&P, I'm still bullish. I really thought that we had a chance to come down to this red line. I guess we only came down to test the prior support, which was perfect. The prior swing high, which is support. And now I'm bullish S&P again because of the current candle. Until this red line's broken, I remain bullish the S&P. Weekly looks bullish as well. So now I'm going to take a look at the other three stocks that someone mentioned, which were all three stocks that I talked about buying really, really cheap. One of them is RIG. I had a trade on RIG, and I got out of that trade back here on this big pump because I got in over here. So that was a while ago. I got in on RIG here off the MRI. I normally never enter for earnings, but you know, the stock was under $1 and it made absolutely I think I got in somewhere around here. I don't remember exactly where, but it was this vicinity. This weekly MRI buy certainly helped me. And I didn't care about earnings because it was like a sub-dollar stock. But this thing went up nicely. It really did. Look at that. 300%. But then it went and made a new low. And I kind of forgot about the stock. I didn't care. And here's where I might have run into trouble. Like if I was going to buy this stock, I would have bought it here. Off of this MRI buy, off of this extension C. And then I would have probably held it through here because I would have known that the weekly MRI buy is coming. And then you have more extensions. The problem is this. Now, of course, if you're buying a $78 stock and it drops to 60 cents, it's not a big deal. But let's ignore the access. Let's ignore the price. And by ignoring the price, what I would see is I would see the break of very critical support. Now, I know there's only so far it can go down. but you can still be leveraged. You know, you can still lose 100% of your trade. This thing, I mean, it's a giant company. You don't expect it to go bankrupt. But if you held through this, and some people did, eventually it got out of its shitter. And this thing is probably going to go back to $10 at least. I mean, it's a major company. It's not some scam. So there's no reason for this thing to ever be 60 cents. They have intellectual property. Someone's going to buy the company. They're going to merge with somebody. Someone's going to buy them out for $5 a share if it stays down here this low. So, yeah, so whoever picked up RIG, and if you look at the weekly chart of RIG, I'm sure it looked beautiful for a buy. See, I don't like this buy because it's consolidation. This is a way better buy on a weekly scale right there. Okay. Granted, it went lower, but see, I'd rather buy this weekly because it's making a low than this weekly, which is 4 consecutive candles at the same closing price. But it's doing well. All right, another one is, this one is really frustrating because I've talked about this for years, pretty much since IPO. JMIA. Been talking about it since IPO. Feels like years, but year and a half. I talked about it since IPO that if this thing dropped 50%, it'll probably be a good buying opportunity. But it dropped so much more than 50% that it made it a very difficult buy. But I kept talking about it, how, you know, this is another stock that's not a scam. And there was a reason why they opened at $30 a share or $20 a share. And there's only so far down they can go. They ended up going down to $2. Now look at the bottom. The bottom is marked by extension B and an MRI buy. I was more interested in buying it here off the second consecutive MRI weekly buy. And that would have been a decent trade, but clearly it went significantly lower. But anyone that bought this MRI buying opportunity, even if you sold it on this MRI sell, you still did well. And if you held on to it for as long as you could, you're doing really well. And I'm very bullish the stock now. That is a monster cup and handle, and it's breaking out. And I wouldn't be surprised if this thing ends up going to $100 eventually. Very, very bullish looking chart. It is on extension B, coming off this MRI sell, but this is a very bullish looking posture. That's the weekly chart. Let's look at the daily chart. The daily chart throwing you a few caution flags, but that's a very bullish candle. It has gone up exponentially since the earnings. It's up 300% since earnings. 200%, sorry. Anyone that picked it up off of earnings has done well. I would not be buying it here. I consider this a missed opportunity. It has gone up too much. I don't chase. If I can't find the stock at the low, I need to buy it off of consolidation. And it's not doing that either. So had I found it over here at 19, probably would have considered it a buy, but not here at 30. Big difference. It's up 50% in 5 days. I don't chase stocks. I find other opportunities. And finally, we have Canaan. I've not seen this in a little while. Whoa. Talk about missed opportunities. Now, I've talked about Canaan many times as another potential buy, but it was just so depressing watching it for an entire year sitting at under $2. And eventually you stop paying attention to it. I had no idea it has gone up this much. And once again, you got to chalk it up to a missed opportunity. That is a giant reversal candle on an island, potentially. I don't know if it has options or not. This thing has just gone from $1.80 up until up to $5.25. I'm not buying this. Second consecutive MRI top. Would I short it? Absolutely not. I don't short $5 stocks. And this thing is also a proxy for Bitcoin. If it goes back down to say 250, could be a good buying opportunity. But if you didn't buy this, at any point, if you didn't buy it at any point well, buying it up here in 2020 would have been unfortunate. But if you didn't buy it in the second half of 2020, you missed it. I missed it. I see a request for Intel. Looks bad. Looks terrible. Oh man, that was a nice. I don't remember when I did this, but I'm sure whenever I did it and I put that arrow in, that certainly worked out. I didn't do this in hindsight. I don't know, go back to videos around October, November 2019 and see when I drew that. Or wait, maybe I did do it in hindsight. It's possible that I did this in hindsight as an example for the trading workshop. I'm not sure, maybe. Oh man, what a beautiful MRI cell. Look at that. So this is what the indicator is basically designed to do. This, I would love this, not mostly because it's a reversal candle. Like if I saw this, if I'm in the stock, I am absolutely out. If I wasn't in the stock, I would consider a short, but it's hard for me to consider a short because we're in the middle of closing the gap and the stock is down quite a bit. But this is a classic combination of MRI and reversal candle, which is one of my favorite things to trade. I don't want to look at shitcoin. And look at that. Beautiful buying opportunity right here on the daily of the MRI on October 30th. If you saw it happen in real time, you could have easily bought it at market open or even market close, and you would be up right now 4%. Nothing crazy, it's just 4%, but any profitable trade is a good trade. You can look at Square. Square, the Square is doing well. It's potentially borderline too late to buy. Has gone up too far, too much. Look what it's done in one year. It's up 500%. I think it's doing better than Zoom. And here was your time to exit right there on the MRI. Buying the MRI, this candle, it looked nice. The reason I would not have bought it is because earnings is 2 days later, and I never do directional trades pre-earnings. So here is earnings. So the earnings would have kept me out of it. But if there was no earnings, that would have been I would have been buying this candle on Square. I want to say that the only other time to buy Square is like the break of this area, but not the first time, because the first time the break of this area is happening too quickly and it's happening off of earnings. But the second time, like somewhere around this green star, it's probably a good buying opportunity. Right now, it's a little too late. However, the weekly is only getting started. The weekly is only getting started. It has been consolidating, but I'm not going to chase it. So for me, it's too late. The best time to buy Square was on this candle, the green star candle that followed the MRI top. Because if the MRI does not reverse your trade, does not reverse the asset, and then you get one of these candles that trades higher than the MRI candle, but not the candle after the MRI candle after, beating both of these, I'm very bullish. And it's also the break of the prior all-time high. It's the break of a year-long consolidation. Like so many reasons to buy it here. I don't remember the last time I talked about Square. I don't remember if I mentioned that. That is a great time to buy. This, you can chalk that up to luck. But no one buys this and gets lucky. If you bought this break, you're buying it because of skill and reason. if you bought this, you know, in the middle of the biggest COVID panic, that's more luck than skill. But buying this area here is way more skill than luck on this move, as opposed to this. This is a little more luck than skill, in my opinion, because the market could have gone way lower. Beautiful MRI top to with an exit, beautiful MRI top on an exit, beautiful MRI buy right here, right into an MRI top, another beautiful MRI buy into an MRI top. This is why I like the indicator. This one here didn't reverse the market. You can go back in. This one here, you can get out, didn't reverse the market. Even if you went back in over here on this green star, probably took a losing trade after, but then you have another shot back here, and now you have another shot, but now it's way overextended. Way overextended. I'm not looking at like scam coins, guys. Even if it's you, Fibbo, I'm not going to look at some shit coin I've never heard of. Sorry, buddy. And like I mentioned earlier, everything's on sale for Black Friday deals. TradingView, if you click on TradingView, it should take you to one of these screens, 60% off. Please use the affiliate page. I have lowered the price of the MRI by like 40%, 45%. It's on sale right now for $500. Price will go back up after COVID. And all of the videos, all the on-demand videos, mine and Hyperwaves, all these videos, they have been reduced between 20% and 33%. This used to be $750, so that's a 33% drop in price. Look, I don't have a buy the dip price point. Everything is flexible. My buy the dip price point used to be $110. And this is the other thing that people just don't understand how markets work. I was a bear in early 2014 all the way through. And I thought this was a reasonable ultimate low. But then after this was happening, I had a target of $110 for the low. Now, actually, I made my $110 target was there from here. So when Bitcoin was like $600-700, my target was 110. That's my buy the dip. I mean, I would have to be a complete fool to still wait for 110. At some point, I change my mind and I become a bull. So in early 2016, I became a bull and I no longer anticipated 110. Same thing here. I had 3 targets. I had my most optimistic target of 5,000 and we crushed it. My neutral target, my middle of the road target was 3,000 and we only came up $100 short. And my most pessimistic target was 13 to 1,500. Now, when we went up in mid 2019, I lowered my most pessimistic target to 2,800, and that's where I would have bought my buy the dip. We didn't go that low. We only went to 3,800, not 2,800. But the way we reversed from 3,800, I became a bull that day, and I've been a bull since. I became a bull the day after this low. My tweets prove it, that I became a bull here. So I'm not going to get my buy the dip. I'm not going to get my 1,500. I'm not going to get my 2,800. I became a bull, so I've been buying. So what is my target now? My buy the dip target now is 14,000. Are we going to get there? I have no idea. If we're blowing through it, I'm going to try to buy lower. But if we never make it to 14,000, I have no intention of never buying Bitcoin again. Like, I'm going to buy Bitcoin again. So it's not, so the number doesn't actually matter. The number doesn't matter. It's how you get to that number. And this is one of the things that people just don't understand. If you set a limit order to buy Bitcoin at 14,000, you have to think about that order every day and see if it still makes sense. At the moment, 14,000 makes sense. But a month from now, 14,000 may not make sense. It may not make sense because the price of Bitcoin fell from 16,000 down to 13,000 in one day. And it made no sense to buy it at 14,000 during that day. Or 14,000 doesn't make sense because over the next month, the price of Bitcoin goes to 40,000. And then the 14,000 once again does not make that much sense. Maybe. Actually, to me, it still would. So it's not about the number. It's about how that you get to that number as a trader. Okay, so I have Fiboswati, friend of mine, been on the show, and he says the following. I'm 90% Bitcoin, but I do have Loki as a privacy play. I don't know what Loki is, but why do you have Loki as a privacy play? Why not Monero? Why not Grin? Why not Bean? And why not Wimblecoin? Or why not Zcash? Or why not, what was the other one? What was the other privacy one? The Black Coin, was it? There was Zero Coin, and there's probably a dozen other privacy coins that I don't know about. So the only reason to talk about the privacy coin that you have, because it's no better than the others, the only reason to talk about it is because you have it. And if you have it, there's an incentive for others to know that it exists and to buy it and to pump the coin. None of them are going to be able to do what Bitcoin did because none of them are decentralized. Dash is not private. All right, I have dead air now. So what else we got? Do I see an ascending triangle on the 1 hour chart? Not really. Right. So why would you want to buy a fork of Monero if you can buy Monero? All forks are more centralized than the original coin. So when you say Loki is a fork of Monero, another way of saying that is Loki is a centralized local copy of Monero that happens to be cheaper because it's even more useless than Monero. And that's saying a lot considering how useless Monero is. Bank of America and Boeing. I mean, I gotta stop talking about these shit coins, but here is B trash, and it kind of hurts me to say that MRI was right, and beautiful MRI buy opportunity on the daily, and like the next day, this thing takes off for like 15%, 25%. So again, does the MRI work every time? No, of course not. Like right here, MRI didn't do anything. But that's a nice 25% gain. And when it doesn't do anything, you take your little stop loss. But when it works, it works. I mean, here it is working for 25% on Bcash in 4 days. If we break 20,000, a series of 10 to 15% corrections would not be as healthy as a 30% one. It won't even come close, because to me, the only healthy correction would need to take it to at least this high. So the only healthy correction has to come back to 13 to 14,000 basically. And if we go to 21,000, if we go up to 21,000, we would need a 33% correction in order to make Bitcoin healthy again by going back to the prior swing high. However, there is a however. If we continue higher, and by the second half of next year, the price of Bitcoin is above 30,000, I will then consider a move from 30,000 down to only 20,000, because that would take us back to that swing high as a healthy correction, but that's once again 30%. So sooner or later, you need to have a 30% correction. Either it needs to be soon, either it needs to be before the all-time high, taking you back to the 2019 high, or it needs to be from 30,000, taking you back down to 20K. Because if we blow past 30,000 and go to 50, you would then require a 60% correction to bring it back in line for health of the market. All right, last two stocks, then I'm calling it a day, guys. We have Boeing. I think the airlines are going to do poorly. I mean, did you guys see my Twitter today? Airlines are starting to consider mandatory vaccines to let people on the flight, which means I will never fly again unless I buy a private jet, which ain't happening anytime soon because I don't have that much Bitcoin. So, or that's probably never happening because I don't have that much Bitcoin. So wherever country I'm in, when the mandatory vaccines come, that's the country I'm staying. Am I frozen? I'm not sure. My Zoom's frozen. But I don't know if YouTube's frozen. Boeing looks okay, but I wouldn't buy it. Whoa. Oh, wait. BOA is not Bank of America. It's Bank of East Asia. I thought it was Bank of America. So what's Bank of America stock? Oh, BAC. Oh, so I don't know what you mean by BOA. It's a BOA Bank of Asia and an Australian stock. So I have no idea. I mean, we can glance at both. I already have Bank of Asia up. looks bullish, but whatever this company's doing should do the opposite because they clearly can't get their shit together. And the other BOA, it's bullish. It's doing better. 30-cent stock. Recent IPO, I guess. Well, not that recent, 2013. I mean, I wouldn't buy it. It's too illiquid, too erratic, no volume. I don't care for it. All right, so yeah, so my Zoom's frozen, which sucks. Am I unfrozen? Hey guys, I'm gonna release my backgrounds. I don't know, today, tomorrow. We got 3. Who wants to name this city behind me? The other one was New York. This one's different. And then there'll be one more. The third one everyone's gonna recognize. We'll make more cities. I mean, maybe the person did mean Bank of America. I call Bank of America BOA as well. Yeah, it is Miami. I don't know. Zoom's bugging out. I don't know if it's going to let me do screen share again. We'll need to look at Bank of America next time. Not working. I think it disconnected me altogether. Anyway, so time to call it a day, guys. Thank you all for watching. Sorry I couldn't get the video done this morning. And see you all on the next one. Black Friday discounts. Check them out. Lowered the prices on everything. And also TradingView's got a good deal.